Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today, this is a video that's answering a question for I'm just going to spell it out because I can't really say it, okay? At UTUBEADDICT252. And this is for you, bro. This is for you. I was asked a question today, do skip bearings really make a difference? Do they make a difference? And my answer is absolutely yes. I think they absolutely do make a difference, people. And the difference to me is it's like in the quality of the bearing. When you got good quality bearings, they're smooth. I mean, there's an element of smoothness. They don't get all gummed up real easily, because like what do you call it, the machine phosphorus bronze, the disc itself, it's not a hollow, hollowed out disc or anything. It's a machine piece of bronze, and then the ceramic ball bearings are set inside of that, and there's not really a whole lot to get dirty or to get clogged up or whatever. Every once in a while, like, I don't know, about 5 or 6 months, maybe a year, depends how much you use it. It's cool to take it apart, and clean it up, and then, re-lube it and put it back together. That's okay, but you don't have to do it all the time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This one hasn't been done in a couple of years. I haven't taken it apart since I last modified it. And one thing I like about it is that with skiffs, the blade just flows freely. So if you want a high performance knife, and what I mean by high performance is like, the only people I think skiffs should really matter to, well, it should matter to everybody, I guess, but to the people who like to fidget the most, so that's who it should matter to the most. People who like high performance opening and closing, they want it to open and close like this, instantly without any effort. You need skiffs. Sure, the regular ball bearings will do it, but like if you get the ones that have like the stamped, stamped brass cages, and with the ceramic ball bearings, lots of times those have like a hollowed out side, and it gets all full of gunk and stuff after a while, and then it'll slow down. But with the skiffs, there is no hollowed out side. It's sort of like the second best bearings next to skiffs, I would say, would be like the nylon, the Teflon cages, because they're like a solid piece of of Teflon, just like the skiffs are a solid piece of phosphorus bronze. Nothing's hollowed out or anything. But even still though, the Teflon ones work pretty nicely too, but the skiffs are better because Steven's skiff puts extra ball bearings in it, and so it's like it makes your blade super stable, so you don't have any side to side. There's no side to side. This knife hasn't had any maintenance on it in 2 years, and it's been carried, I don't know, millions of times, hundreds of times, and it's been used every day. This is my most carried knife of all my modern folders. Of all the ones that aren't triad folders, because my most carried knives are my own, like my Tal Wars and the Recons and the Voyagers I have, and the tie lights and the counterpoints, and the Frenzy. I can't leave out the Frenzy too. Probably leaving out a couple others. AK-47 I carried a lot too back in the day. Oh, American Lawman. But out of all my modern folders, what I call a modern folder is a folder that you don't have to put your fingers in the path. Like you do, like let's say with a back lock where you have to close it like this, and then you take your finger out the way, then you can close it the rest of the way. That's putting your finger in the path. And you have to do the same thing when you do a liner lock, because you have to push the liner lock over, and then after you push the liner lock over, then you close it with your finger, then you close it out, and you move your finger out the way and you close it. Same thing with the frame lock. Those kind of knives, I put them in the same class as like with the Triad, because I can open and close those just as easily as I can open and close. I got probably actually open and close a Triad easier than, let's say, a liner lock or something like that. I can, because I'm used to them. I don't have a problem with the Triads. But nothing's like this. I absolutely love this knife. This knife is awesome. Nothing beats the 8020S. I want an 8020 though. I never had one. The 8020S. And skiff bearings, people. This one's got skiffs in it. It's got skiffs in it. I don't really care for the Demco bearings that use. I don't know what kind of bearings they're putting in their new knives, but the ones that they used to put in these, they used to have the hollowed out ones with the steel ball bearings, and so those really had to go. And so with if you got an old Demco 8020S or 8020.5 or 8020, one of the older models with the steel bearings, you definitely want to change over to the skiffs. But my new knives, this is a new one. This model right here, this is Engage, and originally it comes with bronze, phosphorus bronze washers, and I think Teflon washers also. Teflon washers would go against the blade, and the phosphorus bronze washers would go against the stainless steel liners. So this one originally had stainless steel liners. This one doesn't now, because this is the original goat kit, and it comes with skip bearings. The kit comes with skip bearings. This is one of my favorite knives of all time, the Atlas Lock Engage. When you modify it with the original goat kit. Because once you do that, it makes this one a super fidgeter. But I still just like to open and close it like this a lot of times. Just like I would a Triad. All these knives are perfectly safe too. If they fold in on your hand, that's what's going to happen. You're not going to get chopped up. That's one of the things I think is important about knives. But this is on skiffs too. Skiffs give the knife extra better, just get like super duper performance. I mean, it's like, if you want your knife to perform the best, get skiffs, people. I remember back in the day, there was like taco bearings and skiffs. This one's got skiffs in it too. This amphibian, RAM-LOK. This is a new one of my new ones. This amphibian. G10 handle scales. This is totally stock knife, except for it's got skiffs in it. I replaced the stock bearings. This one it came with the nylon bearings. I mean, or what do you call it? Well, anyway, nylon bearings. My mind's going blank there for a second. The other kind of bearings I was telling you about, they're still the Teflon cage bearings, which are still pretty nice bearings. They're not bad bearings or anything. They're better than having the stamped brass ones that collect gunk inside of them. But still, I had to step it up. I had to step it up to the skiffs. Skiffs just, take it to another level. And this is the one that I carry just about every day. This one with the Votex Engineering version 2 scales. Absolutely love them. Carbon fiber scales. Real carbon fiber. This is not fake carbon fiber. This is carbon fiber through and through. From Australia. And this is the Apocalyptic MSI. This is one of my favorite knives right now. One I like to carry the most. It's a natural fidgeter. It's natural. If you like the Atlas Lock, if you were a big fan of the Atlas Lock, get one of these. Get one of these. If you're a fan of the Atlas Lock, I used to be a major fan of the Contigo and the SOCP 391BK. Those used to be my two favorite Benchmades. I still love them. But if you like bench, the way Benchmade Axis locks work, this takes it to a new level, people. That's the RAM-LOK takes it to the next level. This is nicer than that. To me, this is a lot nicer than a bar lock. This one is just awesome. And this is another knife, the balance on it just floats in your hand. This is, I mean, it's just, I absolutely love it. The MSI, I love this knife. And this is one of the newer ones, so it doesn't have the spine whacking issue. I absolutely love it, people. Highly recommend this knife. And yes, the skiffs take it to the next level. I mean, if you just want your knife to perform the best that it can perform, if you got a ball bearing, knife, and Skiff makes the bearings for it, and even if Skiff doesn't make the bearings for it, contact Steven Skiff and ask him if he can make some bearings for you. Especially if it's a popular model knife, like I did with this one when I contacted Steven Skiff, because they weren't making bearings for this knife yet. And I wanted this one with skiffs, like all my other knives. And so I contacted Steve and asked him if he could make one. And he said he's been getting he told me I'd been getting a lot of requests for him. And he said, yeah, and then I worked with him to make the prototypes, and then we made the bearings. And this one got skiffs from Steve. My other polymer one was the one that got the original skiff, the prototype skiff bearings in it, and the bearings are still in it. But this is the one I like to carry now because I just like the carbon fiber handle scales over the polymer scales. And the other one's going to get aluminum. It's either going to get the aluminum or the titanium kit. I haven't decided which kit it's going to get yet. But anyway, definitely get skiffs. Everybody. If you like your knives to perform super fast, if that's what you want. A lot of people don't like knives that perform super fast because they worry about a knife that where the blade drops that fast that it might drop in on their fingers if they're not paying attention to what they're doing. I've never cut myself by a blade dropping in on my fingers. Maybe it's because I fidget a lot, and so I know how to fidget, and it just comes naturally to me, and I don't really even think about it. And it's just like my fingers just always get out the way, I guess. But I do see how you could probably cut yourself if you're closing something and you had your fingers like this or something. But if you got good, I don't know, if you got average motor skills and stuff like that, you don't have to be no super dexterous person or anything like that. But if you got average skills or whatever, these knives are fun. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. Love them all. Love them all, people. Love them all. This to me is one of the most beautiful ones out of the whole bunch. And I think the amphibian is just sexy. So sexy. Isn't that beautiful? But this one. This blade right here is an awesome blade for everyday, cutting chores, and that's what this one gets used for. And it's awesome for, doing food prep when you're at work. It's an awesome blade. It's an awesome utility blade. That's the way I think of these kind of blades, the sheep's foot type blades or a shark's foot or Warrenclyffe or whatever you want to call it, reverse Tonto, whatever you want to call it. I think of these blades as being more like a utility blade. And, that's what I use my knife for every day. So this makes a perfect pocket knife for me. I use it at work every day. It's awesome. Awesome. And these are awesome knives too. And this one's got the Dimco carbon fiber scales on it that I got off of Knife Center with the Lynch Northwest, and it's got the skiffs inside. But this was one of the original ones before they had all the new types, before they had the big pivots and all that stuff. That's why I got these when they first came out. Absolutely love them, people. I still love this knife. I like the big pivots better. I wish you would have made all the first ones with the big pivots, because then I'd had a lot of them with big pivots. But most of mine had these small pivots, except for my titanium models. Because the titanium models came with the big pivots. I absolutely love these. Just the same. I love them just the same. And actually, the pivot is the same size. The head size of the pivot is what's different. But the actual size of the pivot is the same as these. These are the same bearings. All right, people. Original goat and skip bearings and my favorite fidgeters. Peace. Stiletto.